time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom. In your face. In your face. In your face. July 5th. Cloudy. Still recovering from July 4th and the rain, thunderstorms, etc. I hope that you were safe. I hope that your belly is full, that your soul is satisfied. You can be a part of what we're doing. We are live. The Sutter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. Want to be a part of what we're doing? Greatly appreciate you hitting me with a what's up, and let's have the conversation. Nick Sainert doing the grown-up thing. He's going to man the board, and after he gets some business taken care of, he's going to come in. He and I haven't done one-on-ones in a minute, so I'm going to have some fun with Nick. As soon as he gets some of the other production work done along the way. We appreciate you guys hanging out on a Saturday, and I know the schedule was kind of off and wonky, but we decided that some live sports conversation on a Saturday, not a terrible idea. So couple of things along the way. And again, you can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, Allo Channel 961. If you want to be a part and see what's going on in the studio, I'm dressed in the Husker red today. So that's what we're doing. If you try to describe the greatest amount of pain one can be in, it's going to be so Wednesday. I noticed there was something going on with my foot, and I go to source number one, of course, being Rebecca, my wife, and she made a point. I'm like, okay, can you look at this and tell me what you see? And she looked at it and went, oh, it's too much for me to handle. So you need to get to a specialist. And so off I go. Greatly appreciate her honesty to go. She looked at the toe and said immediately, this is out of my depth. This requires a professional. This is not wife care. This is you need to go to a podiatrist. So we go to some local folks and we try to find them. So the first two that we went to, when you go to the website, they're booked until September 3rd. There was going to be no opportunity for them to see you, help you, or otherwise. So we find an open saint, an angel on earth who is open, who could take me, originally scheduled for Wednesday morning, then changed and swapped to 2:00 in the afternoon. Now, of course, we had AJ Ferrari scheduled for one-on-one. So I was like, okay, well, I need to be there for that. Young man has certainly, he's got a schedule. So the fact that he's going to make time for us, I need to be there. So we go through it. It's a great young man. We'll talk about that in later segments. But a great young man, and immediately haul tail to the podiatrist. Now, identified quickly. So Nick, this is the sound she made when she looked at my toe.
I'm not sure I even want to hear this.
The sound that she made, here I had a sock on because I wanted to cover it up. I did not want people.
Yeah. Well, and you had to wear flip-flops because the shoe, if it was closed, would be painful.
So the pain level that I was at that morning was, so imagine 2:00 in the morning, half asleep, you full on Mark Mosley straight field goal kicker, nail the bedpost.
Yeah.
Well, imagine that, except for every time you put your left foot down, you are then stubbing the toe again.
Yeah.
So letting you know that it's on a nerve and it's a problem. It is a full-on problem. the young lady is treating, so she's taking all the measure, all all the vitals, blood pressure up. Of course it's up.
It always is.
Of course it's up. I'm in pain. And she goes, well, let's take a look here. Nick, this is her response. Oh my.
When you have the deep breath and then the oh no or oh my, you know whatever's going to follow is not good.
Oh my. Mr. Pearson, this is a problem. I know.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm here?
I know it's a problem. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, okay, I'm gonna have to, and she says it just this way. I'm gonna have to torture you. To figure out what's really going on, I'm gonna have to torture you. So she's okay. So I need I need number levels of the volume of pain, the quality of pain as I touch various parts of the toe. And the home run, I know there's Nick, you just hit a home run, a walk-off home run.
Yeah.
You hit a home run that you watched. Yep. So the next time that you're going to take the beat.
Uh-huh.
Well,
100%.
Right. But maybe the pitcher decides, I'm going to toy with you. First pitch, fastball down the middle. Yeah. And you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah. He missed the spot.
That wasn't so bad. Except for
she didn't miss.
No. And I have I had a plan that I was going to have my shades on. Because I have such a high threshold for pain that I'm just like, just do what you got to do, lady. Yeah. Like, just do what you got to do. She presses this thing, and I'm pretty sure my eyes did the cartoon thing and jumped out of my eyes, and then
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Back into my head, and she goes, "Oh, there it is, there it is." And she goes, well, I'm going to have to dig around.
For what? You just learned where it was.
Digging around. So she's like, now I'm going to have to lift this nail up. In order to do that, I need to press it. So double the pain, double your fun.
Yep.
She presses it, and then, Nick, it's, oh, okay. She uses, there are scientific words for when you have a wound that is infected.
Yes.
She chose a word that I had not heard medically before.
Okay.
She said, oh, this is oozy.
That's not necessarily a medical word. That's one that we use when we DIY it.
This is oozy. So then there's a coagulation that happens from the infection. You know the word I'm thinking of, Nick?
What's that?
Well, it's the actual word that she used because it happens if you want to know if something a sure sign that something's infected.
Yeah.
Pus.
Yep.
Pus.
Exactly.
She used the word. She used the P word.
Jeez.
And she goes, okay, so there are a couple of things that we can do. And me being a childish grown man, baby, I'm like, what's the most painless one?
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, there isn't any. There isn't any, Nick.
Just take the toe.
Yeah. Hey, well, no, because amongst the discussion was in order to keep the toe, we may have to sacrifice the nail.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Forever.
Wait a minute, right? She's like, okay, so we can kill the thing that's causing this. We have to kill the thing that's causing it, and then we have to kill the thing that happened because of it.
Yep.
And she's like, so she goes, but your nails are strong. They're curved, so this may happen again. She says, this looks like you have been running on this thing for far too long. And I'm like, well, I walk, and she goes, okay, the nail is damaged.
Yep.
We have to remove it. So she says, well, then she goes, well, but I think we can save some of it. We can save some of it. Some of it? She's like, well, in order to sell some of it, again, when do you want your torture? Do you want several tortures? Do you want one torture?
Yeah.
I'm like, kill me once.
Yep.
Kill
Get
me
it out
once.
of the way.
Like, so whatever you're going to do, whatever damage you're going to do
Yeah.
the damage. Because I don't want to come back next week and do another thing.
Especially when you know what's coming.
Right. Well, I don't know what's coming, and I
Yeah.
almost don't want to know.
I'm saying if you have to come back the next week, you have an idea of what's awaiting
you know what you're doing, and I will find every excuse not to do it.
Yeah, you're willingly walking in again.
And then, so Nick, here's the thing. So have you ever had like a serious injury?
Not injury.
Okay.
No.
So
I've had serious surgeries, not injuries.
okay. So are you the type that you want to know what they're going to do, or do you not want to know what they're going to do?
I would like to know.
So I have that disease as well.
Okay.
Which allows me to get online and allow me to
Oh yeah, WebMD. Everybody's best friend.
okay, text line, explain to me what is it what is it about us that needs to know this thing that we never really want to know? Because WebMD is going to tell you the worst.
Well, that's the part that we haven't learned. Is I think that ultimately we go online expecting to find something that'll make ourselves feel better, but we have not learned as humans that when we go online and read something, it's always the worst case scenario.
So, and it is some things. Now, mind you, I know how bad my toe feels, but it doesn't, but I can't really see it the way a doctor can see it. But the internet can show you all sorts of angles of wonderful, horrible, gnarly things.
Yep.
And I found all of them immediately before going into this thing.
Yeah.
So in my head, but then she goes, well, I think what we'll do, and she goes, it's going to take some shots. And I'm like, I'm usually okay with shots.
Yeah.
She goes, except, and then the pause. Some of these have to go between your toes.
I'll say this. I've never met an ingrown toenail that I could not pick out by myself, because I know what type of needles, where you have to inject it. Anything with like putting the needle in the top of the big toe, I won't come anywhere close to it.
Normally, like I could clip it.
Yeah.
Except for she says, no, this is like your last pedicure botched.
Yep.
And this is deep. This is deep. Like this nail has driven itself, because your nail grows fast and then it drives. So it's digging in, and it hits a nerve. It hits a nerve. And she goes, between the toes is where it gets wonky. And then she says, well, but then I have to spray it first. And the spray is not fun either.
Okay.
Right? So it's this cold spray.
Yep.
And then the 5 needles of death. And I am, again, shades on, because I know you're going to get me, but I don't want you to see.
Yeah, I don't want you to know that you
I
got
don't want
me.
you to see it. So cool, dude.
Sure.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so not good. I'm so not good. What is happening? What is happening? That long needle.
Yeah.
There's no room in between my big toe and the next toe.
Yep.
For this needle.
She made room.
She made room. And let me tell you, there were things, I felt nerves in my body awaken that had nothing to do with this. And they were like, hey, bro, you good? You good? Are you good?
Yeah.
So she says, hey, by the way, do you want your wife in here? And Becky is the gatekeeper, right? So when I'm under it, she remembers all the details, things that right later on that I'm going to forget or be curious.
Yeah.
So she comes in and she sits in a chair. And Becky, of course, multitasking, because she's still working as she's doing this. But, she goes, you want to watch? Becky goes, no. I'll be in the room, but I'm not going to watch.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not going to watch. They dig in. And I mean,
no numbing spray.
Oh,
nothing.
no, the numbing spray
Okay.
and the shots, and they put the little tourniquet, toe tourniquet on, looked like a toe tag.
Yep.
She's like, this is not a toe tag, although I'm like, it looks like a toe tag.
Exactly. Yeah. Be careful now.
Like, is this foreshadowing?
Yeah, right.
What are we doing? What are we
July
doing?
4th weekend. Hold on.
What are we doing? to say that they cut it off and then peeled it off.
Yeah.
Except that's just the top. The part that's actually ingrown and dug in. It's starting to get male there, right? It's dug in.
It's got a home.
And that part. Ugh. So she removes the alien from my body and then asks the question, do you want to see it? Again, Nick.
You said yes.
I
would say yes.
Here's the thing. I don't. When I had my bicep surgery, they took Becky. The doctor took a video and pictures of the torn portions that were as they were being pulled out of my arm. So my arm is open, and I need to get those. I need to get those pictures from Becky. But they're holding it out like they've got a little. They're holding it out and they said, just give this to him to remind him the next time he decides to hit a baseball.
Yeah,
like just show him this, and that will cure all of that. I peeked at this gnarly thing, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake. It was a terrible mistake. So they wrap it, bandage the whole thing. We go home. And when I don't feel well, I sleep.
Okay.
And it's the override for me that, something else is going on. But the last 3 days, to tell you that this morning getting up to come up here was the first time that I've walked since then. And I have on flip-flops. I have on, Jake went and got flip-flops. And my body is just like, hey, bro, how you been? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm still down here.
Hey, man. And it's there. Well, yesterday was take off the dressing day.
Oh, okay.
So the gauze. Yeah.
That's the part that gets me.
Yeah.
The stuff that like somewhat sticks to the wound.
Yeah. It wasn't somewhat.
No.
They were friends.
That's the part that
were
gets
friends.
me.
They met at the club on Wednesday, and they have become close, dear friends. They have been close.
So now, like, are pedicures something that's in your future?
Yes, because it has to be done.
Yeah,
it has to be done. I'm size 14 feet. You have add nails to that. It is a problem.
Yeah,
and I know that the other 9 piglets absolutely need to be pedicured at this moment.
The reason I ask that is because we live in a climate that's not necessarily all year round open shoe weather. Right. And so a lot of people just hide what they got underneath them, and nobody knows what people have.
I know.
Okay.
I know. And the feeling, I know when my shoes and socks tell me when it's time to get a pedicure.
Okay.
Like my shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm reading out. Becky and I laugh all the time because I buy more socks than any human I know.
Okay.
Because when I wait a week too long for my pedicure, the toe cuts through the sock. And I always have a hole in the
There's some different type of toenails, but I'm gonna be honest. That's a different quality of nail.
I'm just look strong like bull, strong like bull. That boy is heavy boned.
Yeah.
No. That's all of that is 100% true.
Okay.
100% true. And when Becky and I first started dating, she would do the manis and petties.
Well,
home.
yeah.
And she tapped out.
We need a professional.
I would, you.
This is gonna be needed a professional.
Boy, you're doing forearm curls to get.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing is there's also a lot of people out there that are very uncomfortable with people touching their feet.
Yeah, it's the thing, you get comfortable, but so in real, you heard people talk about their love language.
100%.
Okay, so that kind of care for me, is like an ultimate love language.
Interesting. Okay, this is good.
Like for me, Nick, this is how you know you have a keeper. This is when you look. The first time Okay, so two things happened. So first, the home cooked meal
Okay.
that she like went out on her own, made the meal,
Yeah.
and then put it in front of a football game,
Sure. Yeah.
and then sat in the room and ate her dinner and never once talked during the game.
Okay.
Okay, so right, check several boxes.
Yeah.
I got
That's like a
up,
5-in-1 type of thing.
right, like that's you.
Yeah.
First pitch, grand slam. Like
Yeah.
you've really
Yeah. You can look past other minor things
Right.
if that happens.
like okay. You just cured a whole
Yep.
lot of stuff,
Yep.
right? Then
She's wearing a Cubs jersey too. That works too.
no. She's wearing a no, she wasn't. But it's always Becky is down with wearing a baseball jersey
Okay.
and a football jersey.
Yeah.
Like she's down with it.
Absolutely.
Again, check more boxes
Mhm.
and to know who they are, and then to have a preference about whose jersey she's wearing. Right. That's when you
That goes deeper than just the surface.
right. Like that's
Sure.
Again, in full, and that. So I got up and I'm like, "You cooked. I'll do the dishes." She was stunned. Apparently, that wasn't a thing that people had done. But I was like, "No, cool." Then after that, she had the full bucket. The bucket with all the clipping utensils and gadgets and everything, warm water, right? Slightly soapy, not too much, right? Sat it down in front of me and said, "Okay, well, let's take care of some things." And I was like, "Okay, like I can call my boys. I can call my boys. Hey, man, I'm done. Like I'm done. Like we cool. We cool." But this is Tuesday night when she looked at it, she went, "Oh no, this is not."
Yeah.
This is not a Becky thing.
Sure.
This is not like she said, I want to help. But she did help because when you took the gauze off, now I had to soak the gauze to get the gauze to disconnect from it, and it still wouldn't. It still wouldn't. And I said some words in combination in removing this gauze. I put some word salad together. And I'm feeling some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And the anesthesia had worn off. So how the gauze, how many strands you would imagine
Yes.
intersect over the course of a gauze, right? You would think hundreds, maybe.
Yeah,
Right?
if not more. Yeah.
Right. I felt every one. I felt
Piece by piece.
every single one. And to pull that thing off, then you're supposed to soak it in Epsom salt just to let it clean out and do what it's going to do. But then they said, okay, but be sure to check the gauze because it'll let you know how you're healing.
Yeah.
And I called the lady. I was like, okay, so what am I looking for? And she goes, once again, is it oozy? Is it oozy? Does it look oozy? And I was like, yes, it has the ooze. And she goes, okay, put a Band-Aid on it.
Yep.
Keep open-toed, do the whole thing. I think I've averaged an additional 6 hours of sleep over the last 3 days. An additional, like I'm getting my normal sleep
Of course.
plus an additional full 6 hours of daytime sleep.
So what's the future then? Like what are the next 2 weeks look like? Because here's the thing, DP. In 2 weeks, we're off to Vegas.
It's supposed to grow back.
Okay. And there's a lot of walking, obviously, in Vegas.
It's supposed to grow back. It is a ponder. I have my return check-in on the 15th.
Okay.
And they will tell me whether this is going well or not, because then that's the time where, and they said we may have to do this again.
Yeah.
The antibiotics to kill the infection, the infection. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost called it another word. I almost put another word in front of it. Because that's how I feel about it.
Well,
yeah. Like
especially if they're just like, hey man, we got to do it again.
Yeah, like it's a thing. Like,
Round 2.
Today I walked up here.
Yep.
And I made I was not walking back.
Sure.
Like I was just not. I was like, no, this is the thing. I'm supposed to wear open-toed shoes for the next few weeks. Which, talking Vegas, that's really a thing. But once it's almost the thing that once I get to wherever we're going, once I get inside of wherever we're broadcasting from, I'll be fine. And just also means that I'm not doing anything else.
Well,
Like, I'm not going to be doing the stadium tour.
Hey, Ryan Day, look what I got.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's a thing. So today's the first day out of the house. Made it out. Eyes forward. Toes forward. And then
Toes forward.
So here's the thing to recognize.
10 toes down.
Here's what it's not. It is nine.
Nine.
It is
Look,
nine.
keep it elevated at all times.
I am nine. Look, I am 9 toes down. But here's the thing to remember. The reason why we wear shoes is because our big toes are not always our friends. They think they are because it's their job to touch everything before the rest of us do. That's the job of the big toe.
Yeah.
Is to seek to be the lead guard, the pulling guard. It finds every piece of wood and carpet in your house. That is so true.
This is an important piece also to say, because I was just having this conversation over the weekend with some family, that you have to graduate when you're younger. You want the coolest shoes.
Yep.
But when you get to a certain point, you realize it is 100% about comfort and how it fits your foot. Because if you get the coolest shoes, I have wide feet, so I got to find wide shoes. I know you always talk all the time about your size 14s. We can't shop at any store. You especially can't shop at any store.
Nope.
If I don't get wide shoes, if I don't get whatever shoes fit my feet, if you don't get shoes that don't fit your feet, it's going to squeeze, and those ingrown toenails are going to be more and more common.
Well, this was the first one that beat me.
Yeah.
I've had ones where, bad manicures, whatever, the nail, cuticle removal, whatever the thing is, right? And I am a fan of manicure pedicure.
Okay.
Like I should go every 2 weeks. I try to go. I end up going once a month because I feel too bougie.
I've never experienced it.
Nick, oh no,
Never been there.
Put it on your list immediately.
All right.
Immediately put it on your list because I'm pretty sure it's kept me from having others.
Okay. Like I said, I've never met one that I don't dig out on my own, which probably isn't healthy.
It's not healthy.
My little clippers are at home are probably infected, but it's fine.
Right. Get a pro.
Yeah.
But this pro got me.
Sure.
Right. I'm a fan. Becky goes, I want to say Becky goes once every 2 weeks. I should go every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because my feet are my thing. And then it's a whole other deal. So we'll throw it a break. Here's what I'm going to ask you, folks. I'm going to ask you about your fourth, Nick. And we'll talk about fireworks in a way that I need some clarity. I need some clarity. I need to understand. Text line, you're going to fire up your text fingers because I need to understand. Why does everybody need fireworks? Their own fireworks. Why does everybody have to fire everybody all day and night? So tell me, I'm going to ask you to explain it to me. Why? When we come back.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Lights out? Let LES know where to go. Powerline matches your phone number to your service address so LES can respond to outages faster. Keep your information up to date at les.com/powerline.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plan for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
While folks love all of Hog Wild's award-winning barbecue options, many have a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hog Wild serves their tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and piles it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus? You get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here a roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Make your move fun and easy with the help of Movers and Shakers. Movers and Shakers is homegrown, female-led, and ready to help make your transition to a new space as seamless as possible. They excel at residential and commercial moving jobs, as well as offer home cleanouts and junk removal services. Moving into a new place is stressful enough, so let Movers and Shakers ease the transition. Give them a call today at 712-899-6265 or book your move online at www.moversandShakersNE.com today.
While folks love all of Hog Wild's award-winning barbecue options, many have a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hog Wild serves their tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and piles it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus? You get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, One-on-One, DP, Nick Sainert. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Yeah, we're live on a Saturday, and part of the deal is getting people used to tuning into this ticket. on a Saturday. It's not just, we're not just Monday through Friday. We're not just 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're all day. We go until late at night. We understand what it is that we're doing. And to stay consistent in you're being able to tune in to the ticket at any point and know that there's probably some live content going on, or at least some relevant conversation going on.
Yeah.
As we head into, we're officially into July. And we're 3 weeks away from having live football on. With the Hall of Fame game, of course, with Big Ten football media coming up, that'll be 3 days of chaos and conversation live from Las Vegas. So that'll be beautiful. And then for the month of August to get the lineup so that it actually fits. Now, folks have noticed that there's been some changes, and there'll be more changes until we get set with the August 28th season opener for Huskers, week 0. But the buildup for all of that, I think the lineup that we have somewhere around August 10th will look more like what will carry us all the way through football season. Mainly because you'll have another podcast studio to really deal with and work from. You'll have live games that we have to schedule in. There'll be high school football coverage by Nick Sainert and company, and in the full disclosure. So, Nick, I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
We've got a full high school schedule to go along with college games and NFL games. For you to pull up some of the games that you think will be featured.
Oh, yeah.
In this, and that to give people a chance, right? To give people a chance to be a part of it. Because Nick is the voice of of our high school calls in those broadcasts. There's opportunity. You could sponsor player of the game. Maybe it's your company. Maybe it's a tribute to your high school. Maybe you want to be a part of that. Maybe you're an alumni of the teams that are being featured and covered, and that you want to sponsor. Like, you can put your name on it. You can put your company's name on it.
100%.
Player of the game, play of the game. We could run back. We could set those features up. So Nick will call it afterwards. We'll pull the clip of Nick calling the touchdown or the turnover of the game. We can
hit of the game.
Coaches comments, whether it be pregame, postgame, or otherwise.
Absolutely.
And then Nick's recap. And it's an opportunity. So, Nick, what are some of the games that we plan on featuring along the way?
Well, it ramps up pretty quickly, I'll be honest here, because as DP mentioned, August, it's right around the corner, because we are already on July 5th, if you can believe it. And once Big Ten Media Day starts, it's like, normally it's a negative connotation when you say downhill. I don't mean it negatively when I say this. It's downhill from there.
Oh, no, it's downhill skiing.
Yeah. It's just cruising.
Yep.
So once we hit Big Ten Media Days. So first high school football game, first week, is August 29th. So the day after Husker football begins, Lincoln Southwest, Lincoln North Star will be on the station. The following week, one of the best and oldest rivalries in the capital city, Southeast versus Southwest. Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln Southwest. Following week, we have some Omaha action with Creighton Prep coming to Lincoln to face off against Lincoln Southeast. The week after that, it's Lincoln East versus Lincoln Southwest. We try our best to get every single high school that's in the capital city or the surrounding area. It doesn't have to just be Class A. We'll mix Class B, whether that's Norris, whether that's Pius, whether that's Malcolm in Class C action, Wahoo in Class C action. Try to feature as many as we can. Also understand, though, there's a lot of oars in the water, and we aren't just somewhere that only plugs in to Wi-Fi. There are multiple bodies needed. And so there's more logistics involved. And so even though we can't always get out to every single location and cover every single team, it's not because we don't want to, but at the end of the day, there's reasons then why when playoffs come, we do it all. We do every single class, is because it is not a favoritism thing. It is not a size of the class that we don't take any of that into account. We try to find the most competitive games week in, week out.
And as a listener and a part of the community, you have input. You have the ability to reach out to Nick and say, hey, listen, is there any chance we could cover this game? And some of it's logistics.
Yeah. Most
of it is logistics. We will choose to be in a space where we know what the Wi-Fi is like. We know where we're going to be sitting. Yeah. Me personally, as somebody that has covered high school sports all over this country.
Yes.
I know that some of the great games are missed simply because they don't have the facility.
That part too, because that's at the end of the day, we have to make sure that it's a high quality broadcast, that we have the ability to have a high quality broadcast. And part of that is how we operate and how we prepare as the crew. But then also the other part is, are the facilities, are they functioning for us? And if there are places around here, and I'm going to leave them nameless, there are places around here where we will not broadcast simply because we've either the only choices are to be put outside. And hey, look, if you can get mad at me all you want, or mad at DP all you want for not wanting to call a game in late October from the third row of the bleachers, but it's a coin flip weather-wise. And then if I'm shivering, or if Jay's shivering, or if Austin's shivering, then the call is compromised, and the quality of the broadcast is compromised, and we just have to make those decisions at times.
Yeah, you can't make notes. Sometimes it's raining. Again,
it's snowing.
Yeah, it's a thing. And let me tell you,
45-mile-an-hour winds.
Let me tell you, the best thing for Nick Sainer that happened was that I broadcasted in Utah before I came to Lincoln, and so listen. You think there's weather here?
Oh, for sure.
Let me tell you about some of these places you have to. I was asked to broadcast in Utah in a blizzard.
Yeah.
And they were just looking at me like, well, what's the problem? Hey, bro, it's a blizzard.
Yeah.
It's a blizzard.
I'm using
and I'm
anything
outside.
I can find as paperweights.
Right. Like, I'm outside, the wind's blowing.
Yep.
You know, you hear the crowd, like the parents are there, and the parents don't care about the FCC. The parents are lacing them up, man. They're putting words out.
How do you think they're staying warm? Alcohol. No, I'm
Right,
kidding.
right.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I'm not trying to out parents here.
You know, but it becomes a thing. So along the way, but we want you to be able to be a part of what we're doing and have input and say, listen, for the facilities that are set up.
Yep.
And most of you have been a part of these programs. You know the facilities. You know when there's a designated broadcast booth for us. You know what the Wi-Fi is that we can plug in and it'll be strong, right? That doesn't drop. That they're considerate of space and time, right? They understand what you want to be able to do. They're not kicking you out 2 minutes after final whistle.
Because that's the other side of it is, as I just got done saying, there's more logistics involved with bodies and making sure schedules are planned in advance. The other side of that coin, though, on the positive side, is that since we are local, that it doesn't have to be set in stone on August 1st. It doesn't have to be. We can make an audible, to use the football term. We can make an audible on Monday, the week of the game, and say, hey, look, you know what? This one's just going to be a little more competitive. This is going on. So that's where I will echo and piggyback on what DP just said. Like, reach out, because we are all human. I specifically am human. There's going to be games that I miss that's happening on a specific week. And so that's where 100% we encourage people to reach out and say, hey, are you at least aware that this game's happening, even if it's 35 minutes down the road? Are you aware that this one's happening this Friday?
Well, I mean, if you have a son, daughter, niece, nephew who's participating in the game, you want to be a special sponsor for it. You can go through and say, hey, listen, I mean, we used to do in Utah, there were things that we used to do as far as seniors, each one got their own little recorded statement from parents, and we would record those, and then we'd slide them into the broadcast. You could actually do that. You could actually say, you know what, I want my business to be the sponsor of this particular game because this game has meaning and value to me, and can you do this? Your ability to also to come in and put your commercials in the day of the game. You can reach out to Nick and say, you know what, we'd like to sponsor this. This matchup has meaning to us, especially in the areas that we're there. You can do it. We can have Scholastic awards that we can put into. There's a lot that we can put into this thing, and I just wanted to give you the freedom to do so. As far as the Big Ten football media, we do. This year is in Las Vegas, and we have some folks who have stepped up. Nick, we'll get back to fireworks. Trust me, we'll get back to it.
That's fine.
No, the text line's asking because I really do. But we'll talk about Big Ten Media Days because I think it's important to set the tone and then to remind people that with big events like Big Ten Media and pregame and postgame and in-game broadcasts, that there are opportunities for local Lincoln businesses and local business sponsors to be involved in it. And there's so much to it that for folks, if you're listening on a Saturday, we appreciate it. But to have a plan for how we approach Saturdays starting in late August, we want you to have input. And I know times are tough and times are difficult, but we also know that you still need to advertise what you're doing. And our ability and our convenience is that we're here for Lincoln. We're here for Lincoln businesses. We're here for Lincoln events. You could have a private event that you want, maybe a nonprofit event that you want to promote. We can say yes to things that the corporate radio stations cannot. And we can get a voice to it pretty quickly. So Nick and I will talk about that when we come back. Big Ten Media Days. We'll talk about some of the high school sports, and then we'll talk about some of the college games as well when we come back to One-on-One.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Breathe easier inside your home with Bryant. Eliminate allergens and odors and control humidity too. For a breath of fresh air, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
While folks love all of Hog Wild's award-winning barbecue options, many have a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hog Wild serves their tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and piles it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus? You get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Make your move fun and easy with the help of Movers and Shakers. Movers and Shakers is homegrown, female-led, and ready to help make your transition to a new space as seamless as possible. They excel at residential and commercial moving jobs, as well as offer home cleanouts and junk removal services. Moving into a new place is stressful enough, so let Movers and Shakers ease the transition. Give them a call today at 712-899-6265 or book your move online at www.moversandShakersNE.com today.
Are you looking for a place to relax and unwind after a long week? Grotto Bar and Lounge is the perfect spot to enjoy a full menu and in-house DJs on Friday and Saturday nights. If you're wanting to start your Saturday or Sunday off the right way, stop by for brunch starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget, Grotto offers a full catering service as well for those graduation parties, birthday celebrations, and weekend family get-togethers. Give Grotto Bar and Lounge a call today at 402-261-3019 or visit them in person at 70th and A in the Clock Tower Shopping Center.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
When you're outdoors beneath Nebraska skies, adventure comes in all sizes. From quick escapes and long weekends to true off-the-grid retreats. Paddle, hike, camp, explore. Whether you have a few hours or a few days, we'll guide you to a state park or recreation area that's a perfect fit. Start your next adventure today at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Back to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. We see you out there, Cliff. We see you out there, Cliff. Hanging out all the way from Florida. Appreciate you. Crowbait asked on the Sutter Heyman text line, who all from the ticket is going to media days this year? Currently, Nick Sader's going. Austin Orman is going. Jay Foreman is going. And I am going. And we may add a fifth to it. Carricker was not available. Amon's not available. We'll see. We'll see. Because it's such an interesting one, it's Vegas.
Yeah.
It's Vegas. And it's this year's version of the Big Ten, which is a bigger, you're talking about 18 teams now. And that's 18 press conferences. That's 18 different sets of three players at podiums and at individual places. A lot of the wrangling, plus all the Big Ten broadcasters, all of the Fox people who are there. You know, there's a lot of wrangling going on. There's a whole lot of kitten wrangling going on. And the fact that we're going to be in a new building. We're not like we've been doing this from Indianapolis and in that stadium, but I'm not sure what the layout's going to be. Like we don't know. We won't know until we get there. We're going to get there Monday.
Yeah, Austin flies in. He'll land in Vegas around 7 a.m. I'll be there around 8:30 a.m. And so
you took the morning.
Yeah,
early morning.
Yes, yes. before this reason, because Austin and I, we have no idea what to expect. If it was at Lucas Oil Stadium, get there at like 5 p.m. We know what to expect.
We know what we're doing,
right? But then there's also something to be said about I'll be up at 7 a.m. Vegas time for the drive to join AD on the drive.
Right.
And so that'll be the situation there, which 7 a.m. in Vegas should be an adventure of its own. But
much easier though. Much easier. Also better stories because the people who are still walking around the casino.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
people who are walking around what casino is it? Is it MGM?
Ooh. Well, since I've only been to Vegas once.
No, I'm just remembering from the press releases what casino the event's going to be held in, because I think it's going to be in a ballroom. I don't think it's going to be.
It's in the giant conference room at Mandalay Bay.
Which
is why we're staying at Mandalay Bay.
Right.
Because which is going to be great,
Nick! Now all the stalkers are going to call our rooms at all kinds of hours.
I'll say this: there's going to be a lot of media people in the Mandalay Bay.
We're going to have to use our travel aliases.
If they could find us out of the 5,000 rooms that they have,
well,
then, more power to them.
They know your name, Nick. We're going to have to use alias.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I got to
government names.
I got to teach you these things, Nick Sander.
Yep.
You guys.
Is it the Aria? Is it the Luxor? Where are we standing?
Now you got to do. Now you have to use your alias to check in.
That's a shame.
You come in, Phil McCracken.
Yeah,
Phil McCracken is.
Yeah, not there.
Not going to be there. But yeah, if we take a fifth, I mean, I think the idea with early break, because it's 2 hours ahead, it would have been too much.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
For early break to be there. But I also know that Sipple is going to be there anyway.
That's right.
It also we did get a thanks from the Big Ten and the casino for not broadcasting early break live, because it means that they have to open the building up at 4 a.m. Just to set up and go for those 3 days. And of course, Jake had no desire to want to do that. But Sipple will be there.
Yes.
At least for the 2 days. I don't think Sipple's going to stay I don't know if he's going to stay the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, just Big Ten Media Days in general, after being there last year, it kind of thins out on day 3 anyway.
Yeah, especially the afternoon. So we will miss the late afternoon shenanigans on the 24th and come back to Lincoln and be here for Friday. And then, of course, I believe FanFest is that Friday, and then high school football. Right, like it's like training camp for high school football starts the following Monday, maybe something like that. So it's a crazy time. We'll throw the break. Second hour of One-on-One. Nick Sander, DP. We'll be right back.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
When you're outdoors beneath Nebraska skies, adventure comes in all sizes. From quick escapes and long weekends to true off-the-grid retreats. Paddle, hike, camp, explore. Whether you have a few hours or a few days, we'll guide you to a state park or recreation area that's a perfect fit. Start your next adventure today at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. the home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
In Nebraska, we show up when friends need help. We check in on our neighbors. That's why it's important to know the warning signs of suicide. If you have a friend or neighbor who's withdrawn, stressed, agitated, or talks about suicide, find out how you can help. Call, text, or chat 988 for 24/7 support. You have the power to save a life. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers. Tune in every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. as Lincoln Lighthouse's Executive Director Bill Mitchner educates listeners on the history of Lighthouse, their mission, and how you can get involved in shaping today's youth into tomorrow's adults. Every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Welcome back, race fans, to the finish line every Sunday night. I'm James Rowland. Join Bree Marie and me every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket FM or theticketfm.com for the finish line. All the latest news for local and national motorsports, all in one place, 93.7 The Ticket FM.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom! In your face! In your face! In your face! July 5th, in your face! I said in your face. Thank you for hanging out with us, and you are in great numbers. I'm impressed, actually, by your fandom and your friendship, that you're hanging out in these numbers on a Saturday after a July 4th night where y'all were active. Man, y'all were active. Y'all were loud. Y'all were active. Oh, man, you were loud. You can be a part of what we're doing on all the streams. Please, you can text in, put your comments in. Hit us with a what's up. Greatly appreciate you doing that. Don't holler at us from a moving car. Like, just say what's up. You know, we appreciate that. The Starter Heyman text line is 402-464-5685. Be a part of what we're doing. And again, all the video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, LO Channel 9621.
please download the Ticket app if you have not done so that we can go with you where you go. And then wherever you are, we are there with you. Greatly appreciate that. Also, get the follow and subscribe on Amazon Prime. Please do so. Please, please, please. If you don't follow on all the social media streams, do so. Find us, 937 The Ticket. Click it. Click it.
What Dion say? Ain't hard to find?
Ain't hard to find. We out here. We out here. We out here. Greatly appreciate you. Nick Sainert sitting in on a Saturday. And the beauty of these Saturdays. Okay. I was just telling Nick this thing that in cutting my teeth in this business, I had the courtesy and blessing of working for some absolute sports giants. Absolute sports giants. People who helped set the direction of this thing and the pace of how the work should be done. And so here's my thing. Coming in on a Saturday, it's now gorgeous. The sun's out. Traffic, people are active. Farmers market going on. It's glorious. It's glorious. Lincoln, Nebraska, you're gorgeous. You're gorgeous today.
For about 8 Saturdays.
Right. But you should enjoy them.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. It is a blessing. John Thompson shared this with me, that his favorite people and who he recruited and who worked with him were people who he called them two people. Two. They get to and want to. He said the two people that he stayed away from were have to and got to. Find yourself people who want to because they get to. And this sports radio thing, there are 99% of the people in the country would love to do what we do. They would love the opportunity to get what we do. They'd love the blessing. And most of them would do it for free, just to be heard. There are bazillion podcasts that people do for free just to be heard and to have these conversations. I'm looking for those people in full. And I say that. Nick, I'm working towards the fan forum, the Ticket fan forum, that come this football season, for each team, we will have our super fan. Right? So, Nick, you will have to help us find the greatest, most proficient talker when it comes to Chicago Bears football. Right? That on the weeks when the Bears are the national broadcast or the game of the week, we have Ticket fans who could sit at the table and have a conversation and let people know what's happening in the Bears fan base. The same said for the Packers. The same said for the Colts and the Chiefs, the 49ers, Pete Ferguson, and the evil empire. And I would imagine that some of these teams have more than one fan. So let's just say for the big Thursday night season opener, which the Eagles and Cowboys, that if we had super fans who listen to us on a regular basis, and I'm not talking fly-by night fans. Yeah. I'm talking about fans who love us and love their teams, who could come in here under our guidance and have conversations, let us know what's happening with their teams throughout the course of the year. Chiefs fans, that Friday night. You don't think that we can go in the second studio and record some interesting conversations between Chiefs and Cowboys fans or Eagles and Cowboys fans, Chiefs and Chargers fans? We know they're Charger fans in Lincoln. Yeah. So we're going to do this. And I want people who want to talk. It's not work. It may be a slight inconvenience for Nick to get up on a Saturday that he didn't have planned and come in here and talk sports with me. But I'm pretty much betting that if Nick was on his own, he'd be talking sports somewhere.
If this is the worst thing that happens today, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, like this is, so this is the part that I tell people. We have an entire broadcast and journalism school right down the street of young people who dream and aspire to do this. And I'm going to give them opportunity because that's how standards are reset. I want people that want to do this, and I want people who love this. And if you don't love the ticket, hey, man, I appreciate you hanging out when you can hang out. But if you love the ticket, there are people that I would love to have in conversation. Now, Nick, there are a couple of things as we head to the Saturdays, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. One, I've asked Nick that Nick needs to record a couple of different things each week to invite people into his world.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That to do business with Nick Sainert and the Ticket, to sponsor the events that Nick works so hard to pull off, whether it be high school football, high school basketball, state tournaments, etc. Also, Nick would be a great facilitator to be a part of our Husker pregame and postgame coverage, right? If you said to me, Nick, if I said, let's put together a program, and it could be a super fan program, it could be Ticket family, that during Husker games, and again, you can go to the games and listen to games, especially for road games where you're not at the stadium, where we're live during the games. Some of you might want to hang out with Nick Sainert. There are businesses that certainly want to hang out with Nick Sainert.
Probably not. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Well, they might want to hang out with Jay Foreman. They want to hang out with Adam Carricker.
I'm just there to have. I'm just there.
Right? But I want to give you the freedom to set those things up and work those things.
Absolutely.
Right? So for all the business owners and the people who do business, there's a way. And again, at whatever number, here's what I also know. If you run your own business, in the best of times, you have a number. Worst of times, you have a different number.
Absolutely.
We're able, because we're local and we have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that we can advertise you. We can amplify you. We can elevate you. That would be our job. 24 hours. We have former athletes. We have current athletes that you can tie to. AJ Ferrari. Ridge love it. We're intro teller. Nebraska football. There are folks that you can partner with and do business with through the Ticket. And that's kind of the plan as we go through this. So I'm just giving it that y'all need to reach out to Nick Sainert and have these conversations, because I think it's a great opportunity. If you're a super fan, reach out to Nick. If you're a super business owner, you're a Lincoln elite, you're in Lincoln and you're just grinding and trying to make your business work, reach out to Nick Sainert. He's the right guy for it. And that's why it's here. It is July 5th. And as I opened the show with, I spent the last 3 days recovering from a procedure that had me highly medicated and deeply, deeply, deeply comatose. But in the awaking hours, there was just tons of firework work.
Yeah.
The sounds and smells of fireworks. And I'm definitely not trying to be the get off my lawn guy.
Okay.
But I'm celebrating what you do on your lawn. I'm just trying to understand what you're doing on the lawn.
Okay.
And are there rules for fireworks celebrating? Nick, are there rules for when it should be done? Are considerations taken for our neighbors, our veterans?
Not one bit on that part.
Right? Like, I'm asking okay, so I'm going to name Nick Sainert Commissioner of Fireworks consideration.
Okay.
And Nick Sainert, what would you suggest to the masses about when fireworks are set off?
Well, so this is where you and I are going to differ, DP.
Okay.
I'll preface it with that because I love watching fireworks. I also love the smell of fireworks. There are times that you can light off fireworks, that you're supposed to light off fireworks, but the other problem of that is that people don't follow those times. So that's where you run into trouble. That is where you run into trouble. So the parameters are set. The people just don't follow the rules within the parameters.
What are Nick's rules? Give me rules, Nick Sainert.
Well, I think on July 3rd, it should be, up until, I say midnight, just because it's the end of the day.
It's not July 4th.
It's not. It's not. You're right. But I think that any time between 6 and midnight is acceptable on July 3rd.
It's not July 4th.
I understand. But some people that work, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in first responders, whatever it might be, they might work on July 4th. And so if they want to celebrate it, we have to accommodate
They
times.
can't celebrate because we know that some of the people who are celebrating on July 3rd are going to hurt themselves and need first responders.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They're going
So-
to need first responders.
So I say, okay, I'll back that down to say till 10 p.m. on July 3rd, 6 to 10. On July 4th,
Unless you are a public, so Haymarket Park,
yeah, they had the Uncle Sam Jam.
right? If you're Lincoln High School, like you want to, okay, if it's Lincoln High School,
Okay.
but Lincoln High School is not going to go till midnight. Haymarket Park's not going to go till midnight.
Yeah.
Like they're not just, okay, so Joe or Steve,
Yep.
you can't go all, like you'll need to be all the time.
Exactly.
Okay. Then July 4th.
Oof. July 4th. Is it bad for me to say 6 a.m. till midnight?
You are not wrong. You are Commissioner Nick.
Okay,
You get
good.
to say
6 a.m. to midnight.
You get to say
6 a.m. to
whatever.
midnight. Now, if you're one of those people that lights this is where I have the problem with is you're lighting the big ones when it's daylight. If you're gonna light the big ones that are very colorful, maybe not the loudest, but the ones that are very colorful, wait until it gets dark.
Nick, you work. Let's say you work July 3rd.
Yep.
You had a ball game.
Yeah.
You were doing play-by-play for the Salt Dogs.
Okay.
And you got home at 12:30.
Okay.
At 6 a.m., your neighbor is honoring your code and decides.
Hey, America. That's what I say. USA. I don't know. I think that there's this unspoken code of like, you know what? You might just have to suck it up for a day. But now there's other stuff to be inconsiderate to where if it's 3 a.m. and you just spend a full day listening to it, that's the difference maker.
But what if your neighbor is a 6 a.m. to 12 midnight person?
Light them off.
Light them all day.
All day.
All day.
Because then here's the other part is I'm going to sit on my lawn and I'm going to enjoy every part of it and not spend a dime. Because you spent the dime. I seriously cannot say this loud enough. I will for hours watch fireworks.
Uh-huh.
Especially if somebody else's money's paying for it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna spend money on it. I won't. I was at a party last night at some family friends that they spent over $5,000 on fireworks. And I enjoyed every bit.
So times are good.
I guess so.
Times are good.
I guess so.
Times are good.
But I said, because the text that I received from him the other day was, man, $5,000 can't get you what you used to get. I was like, well, hey, but you're still spending it, number one.
Well,
number two is I was there glued to my lawn chair and I watched every single firework go off with no harm to my pocket.
To look, there are things that are said on this station often that make my head I scratch my head.
That's probably one.
That people go, better time.
Yeah.
Time. And I know that,
wait a minute.
I know that people say and and it's the same people saying it.
Yeah.
There's some consistency with who says it. And so I'm not sure, right? I think that the consideration is, America, is that we are considerate to each other.
Sure. Yeah. That's the other side of it.
But I constantly lean. I found in my older age, and again, I'll be 63 this month. So I'm no longer the young, cool dude who I'm doing what the cool kids are doing.
Okay.
No. I'm officially at the point where I need for y'all to do less. I need for y'all to do less. Because quite frankly, y'all getting on my nerves. Right? Because I don't feel well. So imagine finally getting your throbbing foot to chill out long enough for you to fall asleep. And then there, out of nowhere, boom to the boom to the boom. And you're just going.
It's a good thing you average 6 more hours of sleep, though.
I medicate.
Now you're well rested.
I medicate heavily. And here's my thing. I'm cool with that. But I'm also an animal lover.
Okay, yep.
And so I've been around too many dogs who just are set off by it.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I know that people don't care about other people's pets, but that's not a statement of our best.
I say you could have just said I didn't care about other people too.
That's not our best. Yes, Bill and Bennett, shots fired at early break. I'm fully a member. Listen, here's my thing about early break. Can I say this? Yes, I can say that.
I was just saying.
I can say this.
No, let me sit here and go no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you no.
I can say this. Here's the thing about early break. So they do music. And I understand that the music that is played within early break is not for me. I fully accept that there is a different playlist involved.
Yes.
Now, but I would also say, what do you think the response would be if I, as the station boss, took over the playlist of early break? Do you think it would be the same?
It would not.
It would not be the same. And I'm okay with it. The playlist for the early breakers is for the early breakers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I fully know your crowd, like know your audience. Yes. I fully get that. Okay. But I listen to members of that show critique Prince 1999.
Is that right?
And I'm pretty sure that's when the infection to my foot really started.
That's when you purposely stubbed you threw your toe onto the wall.
Like, who throws a shoe? I mean, really? That's because they don't. First of all, they don't watch the things I watch. They don't listen to what I listen to.
Absolutely.
But I fully I'm Bill Bennett. I'm not even talking about disco. Prince is not disco. But that tells me that you don't. Bill, you just call Prince disco. I'm truly in the middle of the country. I am fully that to say that Prince is one of 5 generational music talents that this country has produced in the last 70 years. Like, and that's, you can't even argue that.
Yeah.
And I know that he's not for everybody, but I also know that I've found 3 people or 2 people. One got it. One was like, oh no, this is why I chose it. But the other 2, I was just like, how are you of age in Lincoln, Nebraska and not be like, really? I mean, is Minnesota Midwest?
No, it's Great Lakes region.
So it's you have separated.
I was thinking Little League World Series. It's okay, Great Lakes, Midwest.
You have separated Minnesota from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, I mean, it's a Big Ten school. So
well, okay, but you can't use the Big Ten school analogy because that's everywhere now.
You can't use it in the core of the Big Ten is the Midwest.
Yes.
Like, that was the whole point behind the Midwest was Big Ten.
Okay.
Like, that was
that
literally the whole core of it. That was the whole point was that, hey, we're the forgotten middle of the country. Like, we're the people that, hey, we're not big markets necessarily. We have 2. Like, we have Chicago and Detroit, and we don't really like them, to be honest. Like, the rest of the Midwest does not like its big cities. It doesn't like them.
It makes you uncomfortable knowing, like, okay, man, people got to go to Vegas. Like, and now you're involved. Like, the Big Ten championship game, whenever it's in Vegas, when they move it to Vegas in a couple of years.
So is it back in Indy this year? Is it back in Indy this year? Where is it this year? Is it Chicago this year?
Off the top of my head.
Right, like, I don't know. Disco is dead. Of course it's dead. What is
So the Big Ten football championship game is okay. I got to put the actual year in because it's 2025.
Yeah, it changes.
It is at Lucas Oil.
So it's at Lucas Oil. So one more year, you have another year or 2, and then I would imagine that it's at Allegiant Field.
I would imagine as well,
right? And that people are going to have to go to Vegas, and it's Midwestern people.
But can you imagine the folks like Iowa fans?
Well, here's the thing. They aren't really making that decision worried about Iowa.
No, they're
showing up. They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
This is for Los Angeles, DC, New York, like Boston. It is not. They do not.
It is
care.
not about you.
Detroit's showing up. Detroit's showing up. Right? They fully understand. They know that Cleveland and Columbus are showing up. They don't, because they get Michigan.
Well, yeah.
Right? They get Michigan. So, okay. And Michigan is an outlier. Right? Mm-hmm. Michigan is an outlier. Ohio really doesn't claim who it is because Cincinnati thinks it's really Kentucky adjacent. I mean,
is that right?
Cincinnati, if you go to a Reds game, the number of fans from Kentucky is high.
Okay.
It's a high number. I mean, literally, it's right across the bridge.
Yeah.
It's Kentucky and Cincinnati are right across the bridge from each other. So it's kind of the way we think of like Virginia, Northern Virginia, and DC.
Okay.
They're connected by a bridge. And okay, a lot of those things are the same. And a lot of the people from Louisville, those are Reds fans. Those are, and when Kentucky stunk at football, when it stinks at football, they lean heavily to the Buckeyes.
Okay.
They lean heavily to the Buckeyes. Cleveland leans on the Buckeyes. You don't hear about Cleveland State football.
No.
Not really a thing. The Cincinnati Bearcats are just being considered. They're just being considered. They are the Creighton of Ohio football. That they think, oh, we're glad you had it, and now you're relevant, but you weren't, and we don't really care.
But lost your head coach and it moves on and nobody talks about it.
Right. Nobody cares, right? Nobody gets it. So that's kind of what happens with the Midwest. And then the Big Ten Conference. The moment you went and said that we're going to include, remember, Nebraska was the most Western of all Big Ten cities. That's right. That's just, think about that. That Nebraska was as far west as you would want to go.
Yeah.
We don't think of Nebraska as Western. We don't think of it west of anything, really. Like, that's not how, it's the middle of the country. It's the middle of the country. And a lot of the philosophy, a lot of the culture, a lot of those things were built by Indian foreshadowing travelers from other parts of the world, European at a high peak, and then pockets of urban population. But the numbers of the 2 million, if you said that 1 million is Omaha Metro, which part is more Nebraska? Omaha Metro or the rest of the state? And Nick, how about that? How about answering that question? Who is Nebraska? Is Nebraska as a state and as a culture and as a population?
It is not the Omaha Metro.
But that's 1 million.
Yeah.
You can't claim having a big city and then saying, but that's not real. If that big city is 50% of the population or close to 45%.
Yeah.
And it's on top of each other. So those people working at a similar energy compared to the outliers that are bit and parcel, right? That the thousands that operate in the corners of the state versus the people in the middle of the state. And is Lincoln truly Omaha Metro? Nick? Yes or no?
No.
So you don't count them in the middle, in the million, right?
No.
So if you add Omaha Metro and Lincoln Metro,
yep,
that those two pockets of the state are Nebraska. Oh,
you're backing me into a corner here, DP.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We'll throw the break. Come back more. Nick Sainer, DP, one-on-one.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Hauling has been a trusted and reliable hauling service in the community, and they have established themselves in the roll-off industry as well. Fast Mike's Hauling can help you with everything from demolition debris, estate cleanout, yard cleanups, and so much more. They also offer dumpster rentals and flatbeds to make those bigger jobs a little bit easier. Call Fast Mike's Hauling today at 402-450-6828 or visit them online at fastmikeroll-offs.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
We've been hunting these fields north of Kearney since high school. My buddy Ryan has always been my wingman, the life of the party. But I saw a change, and he got really down. Talked about his life being worthless.
If you know someone who's struggling, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home, taking care of friends and neighbors. It's what we do in Nebraska. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Out here on Nebraska's calm, welcoming waters, fishing is a breeze. It's the sweet spot where solo anglers find quiet before the catch, families reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here, beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
An award-winning softball season deserves a celebration. Don't miss your chance to congratulate Jordy Ball in person. Join the team at Midwest Bank for a special meet and greet on July 16th at their Jamie Lane location as they recognize her incredible achievements. Bring your friends, your team spirit, and your favorite gear for Jordy to sign, and it all kicks off at 4 p.m. They can't wait to see you there. Get all the details at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
While folks love all of Hog Wild's award-winning barbecue options, many have a real soft spot for the Carolina pulled pork sandwich. Hog Wild serves their tender, slow-smoked pulled pork on a soft bun and piles it high with tangy coleslaw. There's nothing else on the menu like it. The added bonus? You get to have a side dish like curly fries or baked beans. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Breathe easier inside your home with Bryant. Eliminate allergens and odors and control humidity too. For a breath of fresh air, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Men in Nebraska can be set in their ways, but they can also be quick to change their minds. Just 10 minutes can be enough to step back and rethink the life-ending decision of suicide. If you have a friend or family member who's struggling with depression, talk to them about temporarily storing their guns away from their home. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sainert, let me ask you a question. Do you know who this band is?
I was the one that made this.
Uh-huh.
I know, I'm aware of the song. I could not tell you the band. This is one thing that you always did to me.
This is
day
one
after
of,
day.
This is one of the 5 most important and greatest hip hop songs in the history of mankind. One of the 5 greatest, because it opened. As a matter of fact, the evolution of it was when it reached. There was a bit on Saturday Night Live, where somebody walked into a bathroom and was singing it, and somebody else walked in and sang it along with them. And it was a moment. It was the first time that hip hop had reached mainstream, as it was called. But the song is called The Message.
That is right.
The Message. And if somebody asks you, name 5 of the most important hip hop acts or songs of all time, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5.
Okay.
This is who this is. Maybe one of the most famous 5. And then again, Sugar Hill Gang falls into that because of what was done. But the opening line was broken glass everywhere. People urinating on the streets and people don't care. And it was just explaining to people in the middle of the country how folks were living in other places. And that this was the original message of hip hop. It was not that. It was just poetry to where you are from. And in New York City, which is the home and mecca of hip hop.
Yep.
That's some of the story. So Nick, just for the record, you can go and Google Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, incredible individual talents who got together to change music. So there's that, bro.
I've learned more regarding hip hop and that scene on doing one-on-one with you than I think I could anywhere else.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Corbett, you're right. Song reminds him of Toe Jam and Earl for Sega Genesis. Yeah, it's all true. Like that the beats have been sampled and pulled from different places, and they don't recognize. And I think it's important for folks to realize where songs come from.
Yeah.
And that was part of the big battle with early hip hop.
And also the meaning of lyrics, because a lot of people just like to sing along, but also don't realize what they're saying or how they are.
Most people never have any idea what they're singing.
Maybe not the music that's made today. It doesn't have meaning.
No,
but
the music back then. Listen,
but there's purpose in what a lot of people say.
Your mom sang Cyndi Lauper, She Bop out loud, not knowing what Cyndi was singing about. Like there were songs we didn't know what they were about. Nor did we care. It was a bop.
Yeah.
Like so do you remember? If I said American Bandstand, what comes to mind for you? Nothing about it. Okay, so literally all of the culture that was most of the culture, musical culture that was handed down to you was handed down from American Bandstand. Dick Clark and American Bandstand. And there was a phrase that the young people said that it had a nice beat and it was easy to dance to. And it became cliche because he would play a new song, hit or not hit, like it or don't like it, and they would play a couple of minutes of the song, and the kids he would pick 2 dancers, and he would ask them, okay, what are your thoughts of this new song? And they would say, the popular thing to say was, well, it's a hit. It's easy to dance to. And that was part of the deal. But they didn't know what they were singing. Mm-hmm. There were songs. Think about it. That rock and roll was built on anarchy, rebellion, sex, and drugs.
Yeah.
Because the people who were writing it were usually under those circumstances. And that was a big part of it. And
has that changed?
No.
Okay.
Well, because the things that we were doing, the things that teenagers are doing, are only different because of the evolution of technology, et cetera. But the human element of teenagers hasn't changed. The uncertainty, the imbalance, the curiosity of who you are in a world. You're trying to understand what's in front of you and then dream about what's not in front of you. Mm-hmm. And for Midwestern kids, this is how they really saw the rest of the world, because you weren't getting Midwestern music. They would listen to American Bandstand to find punk music, new wave music, hip hop music. They were looking for, dance music. Well, if you weren't getting it, and there were pockets of the country, think Footloose, the movie Footloose. Yep. That was truly how America was living.
Wow.
That there were people who didn't want kids to listen to rock and roll music. They didn't want them to dance because dance led to other things.
Yeah.
It was a gateway to weird dating. Space between, if you went to Catholic school, space. How much space was required between dancers?
We didn't have that. We didn't have that. Those rules at Pi. We didn't worry about that.
Oh,
I know back then they did.
Oh,
absolutely.
The rule. You need leave space for.
Mm-hmm.
Leave space
for Jesus.
Yeah.
I know the saying well.
And in pockets, urban pockets, slow dancing was actually part of the culture. You learned that pretty early. So, it's there. Brian T, go ahead and get him with it. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge, trying not to lose my head. But that was what music was. Music was to speak to teenagers. And different levels of teenagers, because adolescent teenagers, preteens were, that's where they got their matinee idols from.
Yeah.
Right? As far back, your grandparents had matinee idols that they had dreams about. You go through and go, this is who this is. And it evolved. Elvis was a matinee. The Beatles, different pockets of it. And as the English invasion, because haircuts became changed in America, and the parents were like, wait a minute, what's this crazy screaming music?
Yeah,
that's going on from these people from England, and they didn't understand it, but all the young people understood it because it sounded different and made them want to move.
Yeah,
sports was also that way, because that's how you learned how to play the games that you were playing, by what you saw from other places.
Yeah.
You found out how you measured locally, but then you looked and went, well, wait a minute. I don't run like that Johnny Rogers kid.
Yeah.
Right? You had to see a thing and go, wait a minute. There are black kids across America who saw Johnny Rogers play in this place called Nebraska. And it was, wait a minute. If their two best players, or two of their best players, or Johnny Rogers and Rich Glover, there are black kids across America who ran and played the way they did, who could then see themselves as Nebraska Huskers.
Yeah.
But there were kids in Nebraska, in Omaha proper, who saw Johnny Rogers, one of them, make it and be a Husker. Okay, well, then that opens the gate between Omaha and Lincoln. Then you have to say that there's a picture that was posted recently on social media of young assistant coach Tom Osborne giving almost a dap and an acknowledgement to Johnny Rogers and Rich Glover, who are there in their tuxes, but Tom Osborne is, how you grasp with your hand.
Yeah.
And it's a soul grab. But there's Coach Osborne, younger Coach Osborne, doing that. And you went, that was the connector.
Yeah.
Right? That was the bridge that connected. And sports has been really good about that. Right? Because how do you think music got to Lincoln, Nebraska? It came from other places. All the dance shows were New York, Philly, Baltimore, Los Angeles. and then Detroit, and then Atlanta, and then Miami, and then it reached the middle of the country. And that's how things move. Young people are always searching. And in sports, in this space, Nick, your love for sports was built locally.
Yeah.
With an eye outside of the Midwest, because you could not only see Midwestern professional teams. There weren't many of them. There just weren't many of them. I mean, think about it. Technically what pro teams, and then imagine that some of the expansion teams have grown it, but how many major sports exist in the Midwest? It is a small number, like relative.
Yeah.
Tell me Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri, thank goodness for St. Louis and Kansas City to be the hub in the middle of the country.
That's what I was going to say. If you grew up in a place that didn't have, professional sports like Nebraska, then you're more than likely going to gravitate towards geographical teams.
The next closest city,
which is the Chiefs, the Royals.
The thing that identifies you, who you root for, is a statement of what you think of yourself, who you think you are, and where you can find bits of yourself. Like I ask this question all the time. Tell me who you root for, and it'll tell me who you want to be.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's why, as a Husker fan, you root for Lincoln.
Yeah.
And as good as Huskers are, it is a statement to the rest of the country who Nebraska is, and then who Lincoln, Nebraska is. And the order changes from time to time. So it becomes the thing, right? Bill and Bennett says this before we go to break. He says, I went to Pius X in the early 80s, and Van Halen's Running with the Devil was a mainstay in our locker room weight rooms. I can tell you that in 1979 at my high school, now I went to a predominantly white high school. I tell you, me and Barry Thompson were the two black guys on the football team. Like that, literally we laugh because our team picture, there's two of us like this. We were side by side and they were easy to find. All right. But that we played our PA played record players. When you came out to basketball, there was somebody with a record player and a speaker box. And and we were getting, Nick, do you know Molly Hatchet?
Not familiar.
Right.
But yes.
That part. Molly Hatchet, Flirting with Disaster. Nope. We got AC/DC back then. Yep. We got 38 Special in Virginia.
Yeah.
We got Rebel music, bro. I ran out to Rebel music and Confederate flags. And you just go, man, you're a product of your environment. But that's why I know what is considered white people music. Yeah. Because I grew up in it, around it, and I had to consume it. I know white music better than white people know black music because I had to. They don't have to. That's kind of the work. We'll come back and close out this hour of One-on-One.
We strive to help people get into home ownership. That is the American dream. Having something that you can go home at night and say, this is mine, is very important. The great thing about Remington Homes is affordability.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. We give you a lot of choices, and you couple that with our great lot selection in all different areas. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, We're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
This July, Acres is celebrating the birth of our nation. The fireworks include the opportunity to save big with great pricing on our late model John Deere ag equipment. Plus, you can lock in interest rates as low as 1.9% on select used John Deere planters, tractors, sprayers, and combines. Red hot rates combined with our explosive discounts make July the perfect time to buy and save. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer July 31st, 2025. Some-approved financing. Offer may change anytime without notice.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with NP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on NP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. NP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than NP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah, it's crazy talk. Just explaining to Nick.
Yeah.
Nick had never heard Molly Hatchet.
I'm good never hearing it.
But I'm sure that some of the old heads that in Lincoln high schools around, Molly Hatchet back in 1978, 79.
Yep.
My teams, we took the field to Boston. We took the field to the Doobie Brothers.
Okay.
Molly Hatchet, 38 Special. We got lucky. AC/DC released an album right about that time that gave us a little something of saucy, but we literally had to have, my friend was our school DJ, and he had to petition parents. He had to petition the PTA to play Rapper's Delight at the high school.
I know that song.
And it was close.
Yeah.
Like, it was close. Like, we barely got in. It was rebellious for us to play Michael Jackson Off the Wall.
Is that right?
It was, and then when Bill and Bennett says disco is dead, it was alive then and necessary. It was necessary because if I had to go to another high school dance and listen to 38 Special and Molly Hatchet, I would have lost my mind. I would have.
Is disco dead now? Is that a true statement? It lives.
Okay. It lives because it's important.
Okay.
It's important. I mean,
is it a pocket of the country type of thing?
No, I mean, if you dance,
okay.
If you dance, disco isn't dead. And I'm not talking about disco like Saturday Night Fever, Bee Gees, disco.
Yeah.
That's how some people think of disco. Disco was just if you were a teenager or in college, you needed music that you could dance to. And it was easier to dance to this pocket of music versus this pocket of music. I mean, Footloose is there for a reason. It exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta became a star, right? He was already a star because of Welcome Back, Kotter. But he became a star and Boy in the Bubble. If you've never seen Boy in the Bubble with John Travolta,
you already know the answer. You already know the answer to that question.
No, oh my God, it's so, let me tell you, it is so cheesy. Super cheesy. It's Doritos cheesy.
Okay.
It is, oh my goodness. A boy with an autoimmune disease that he has to live in like a plastic bubble.
Okay.
And it's John Travolta, but he's a teenager, he's in high school, and he wants to be a regular kid.
That's wild.
And a new girl next door, Glennis O'Connor, he falls in love with the girl. Oh, Nick. Oh, no, do yourself a favor.
Hold on. Is that where the term like Bubble Boy from Seinfeld comes into?
Okay. I don't know if this is where it comes from, but in 1970s,
I know Seinfeld. Does that tell you anything?
1970s, Boy in a Bubble, John Travolta, Glennis O'Connor. Yeah, find yourself in it. That'll be it, Nick. Thank you for making time today. We'll do this. We'll go back to prepaid reruns and rest of content, but I wanted to spend some time with you live on a Saturday. Appreciate y'all. Be safe this weekend. Be kind to one another, simply because.